a firearm, gun, weapon, or ammunition. You must immediately surrender any firearms, ammunition, and any concealed weapons permits to the nearest police department and file a receipt with the court. Do you understand the stay away order?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'll do $5,000 each count. Have a nice day. Next is Cedric Oliver, page 5. He's actually
Probation.
called for F20-10965. Good morning, sir. You were arrested for grand theft to a dwelling or curtilage from yesterday. In another case, possession of cocaine and possession of hard paraphernalia. You're on probation. There's a hold for you to see your judge tomorrow. So the victim says that defendant stole her package that had her Dreamy H12 Pro vacuum cleaner. And he stole it from her porch the day before. Must be a good vacuum cleaner. And he's wearing the same clothes at the time of the arrest that he's in the video. So the value of the package is $289. So, sir, you are ordered to stay away from Anel Vasquez, the alleged victim. No contact with the victim, either directly, indirectly, in person, in writing, by telephone, or through third parties. Stay at least 500 feet away from the victim, her home, or his or her home, school, and place of employment at all times, and stay away from the victim's home at 14820 Southwest 265th Street in Miami, Florida. There's probable cause for grand theft to a dwelling or curtilage. That's it's a third degree felony. It's a $2,500 bond. And then the other case, the possession of cocaine, had a pipe and it had some residue. So $1,000 count one, $1,000 count two. Have a nice day, sir. I'm sorry, 1,000 count one, 500 count two. You spoke. Next is Miguel Arrocha.
Bug it out.
Thank you. Eric Johnson, page 6. Oh boy, here's a lot of priors. Oh, I got some weight to this one. It's like 1/8 of an inch. Good morning, Mr. Johnson. You were arrested for possession with intent to sell cocaine and possession of cocaine. I will appoint the public defender's office for you. There's probable cause for the charges. Count one is $5,000. Count two will be $2,500. Have a nice day.
So just there's nothing indicating that Mr. Johnson was in possession of baggies in a stroller. They mentioned a walker being nearby, but no contact with a stroller.
He's acting hand-to-hand transactions, and then he's also approached a second time by somebody else. Another hand-to-hand transaction. So
They're saying that he was reaching into a walker, and then they find some drugs in a stroller, and they attribute those drugs to Mr. Johnson when they're not saying he had any contact with the stroller in any way.
Misspoke, but I think you have a valid argument. State, you want to call the officer? It looks like it may be a...
The officer observes the hand-to-hand transaction. And then there's another hand-to-hand transaction. And then there's a stroller directly near where he is sitting. And there's enough.
He reaches into a walker, and then there's a stroller where he's sitting with the 10 bags of cocaine.
So if they don't find anything in the walker, then how they know anything from a stroller would be attributed to him. It would not be. they're not seeing him have any contact. They're sitting there watching him and he's not having any contact with the stroller. How can they attribute a stroller content to him?
It's right next to where he was sitting.
Well, they don't indicate how many other people in the area. They should really leave it nicely vague, but they do say the area he was going into. They don't say there's any drugs found in there, so.
As for deposition, there's probable cause for this charge. It's $5,000 count one, $2,500 count two. Next, we have this Marquise Willoughby, page 7.
Bond it out, Your Honor.
Thank you. Jason Huber,
NBC.
Your Honor, please review.
oh, he's, all right, let me review. He's he said Hoover's NBC, let's see. Talks about a bottle of wine. I don't see prior convictions. Does it mention it? I took a bottle of wine. I don't see what mentions prior convictions.
Okay, so just the misdemeanor.
Petty theft and count two, resisting without. And
So
reset.
talks about
What?
at the gas station where he's yelling profanities while brandishing a knife, causing a public disturbance.
Maybe disorderly conduct?
For one of the counts, yeah.
Okay.
That's what they're hearing from police communications.
Count two, there's probable cause for resisting. So what do you want me to do for count three? No?
I guess just one count.
In count three, no probable cause. And reset it for the afternoon. Next is Lazaro Luz Belcario.
He refused court, Your Honor.
Let me review. Denied insurance. You want to wait?
We can wait.
I'll appoint the defender's office
Victim is Cassius Hall.
to $1,000 bond. Jonathan Perez, page 7. Written, it says, added charge. He's here yesterday.
This peasant, he speaks English.
Mr. Perez, you were arrested for written threats to kill or do bodily injury, aggravated assault with a firearm in violation of an injunction. It's from April of 2024. Wasn't this case from yesterday, like recent? I thought it was. I will appoint the public defender's office for you. He was like shooting at somebody yesterday.
Yeah, I think the gun was discharged.
This is one where we need to add house arrest. I don't know if I did before.
I think Your Honor did. Corrections? What was the
Bond plus house arrest.
Okay. Should he? Let me review this. Okay, sir, you are ordered to stay away from the alleged victims as Biddy Nava and Dagoberto Nava. No contact with the alleged victims either directly, indirectly, in person, in writing, by telephone, or through third parties. No contact with the victims through social media or other electronic means. and you must stay at least 500 feet away from the victims, their home, school, and place of employment at all times. Do you understand the stay order, sir?
Judge, I'd ask you to find no probable cause for count one.
There's probable
There's
cause.
no threat of bodily injury, Judge. Just saying something is going to happen to you is not.
Victim's home.
I think in the context and the fact
It's
that
not a threat to kill, and there's not a threat to do bodily injury. It has to be in the writing, Judge.
Okay, I think I'll give you that. I think you're going to be correct.
right? I think the victim was justified in being afraid based upon that statement because the victim's got their history, the injunction.
It's a bit vague. It doesn't say what that threat is. Count one, I'll find no probable cause, release outright. Count two, there's probable cause for aggravated assault with a firearm. That's going to be, I'm setting that bond at $7,500. That's plus house arrest with a GPS monitor. What did you, level two?
I don't have the level you're on.
Level 2 is appropriate.
I think I did level two. I don't think I did level three. Level two, house arrest. That means you can work, go to school, go to medical appointments, meet with your attorney, otherwise stay at home. And count three is violation of an injunction. That bond's going to be $1,000. All right. Good day, sir. Next is Daniel DeRosiers.
Refuse court.
He is on probation. Hold for F19 17936, F20 10081. Let me review for probable cause.
Judge, who did you call next?
Daniel DeRosiers, except he is refuse court. Probable cause. So I'll find a probable cause for count 1, 2, 3, and 4. Reset it for the afternoon. Next is Frederick Collins on page 9. Hi, Mr. Collins. Good morning. Sir, you were arrested for domestic battery by strangulation. I will appoint the public defender's office for you. Brandon, could you tell them to ask them to kindly be quiet? So there's probable cause for the charge of battery by strangulation. All right, sir, Mr. Collins, I'm entering a stay away order from the alleged victim, Leslie Collins. No contact with the victim, either directly, indirectly, in person, in writing, by telephone, or through third parties. no contact with the victim through social media or other electronic means, and you must stay at least 500 feet away from the victim's home, school, and place of employment at all times. Do not engage in any criminal activity. Do not use or possess illegal drugs. Do not use, purchase, possess, or carry a firearm, gun, weapon, or ammunition. You must immediately surrender any firearms, ammunition, and any concealed weapons permits to the nearest police department and file a receipt with the court. You may return to the victim's residence one time only within 48 hours of your release from jail. You must be accompanied by a police officer so that you can retrieve your personal clothing, health items, medication, personal and business-related paperwork, and work tools. If you go to the victim's home without the police, or if you stay there, you will be arrested. Do you understand the stay-away order, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
He doesn't have a lot of priors, but he breathes. Right.
Judge, Mr. Collins has another place you can stay. I would ask if you would consider pretrial services. I see no prior.
You have an objection, he has no priors. He doesn't have money for a bond? I can lower it like 2,500.
Is it maybe house arrest level 3?
He's 66 with no priors other than
He's on a fixed income, Judge, right now. He's 66. He can stay with his daughter.
Final order on a pretrial alternate bond will be $3,000. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Lazaro Garcia Balmaceda, page 9.
That was the PCH judge.
I got another one here.
Is it? Then maybe I'm mistaken. I'm
No.
mistaken. Sorry.
Somebody else with a similar name.
Somebody else, sorry. And this guy, I think this individual may qualify for pretrial.
Okay. Is this Mr.
Interpreter for Mr. Garcia?
Yes. We're arrested for possession of crack cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia.
Usted fue arrestado por posesión de cocaína en piedra y parafernalia para el uso de drogas.
I will appoint the public defender's office for you.
Yo le asigno al abogado de la defensa pública para que lo represente.
So there's probable cause for the charges.
¿Hay motivo fundado para estos cargos?
Sir, how long have you lived in Miami for?
¿Hace cuánto tiempo usted lleva aquí en Miami?
Yayo.
A year and something.
Mm-hmm. Where'd you live before that?
¿Y a dónde usted vivía antes de eso?
West Flagler.
En West Flagler.
Yeah, I got an address?
¿Dirección tiene?
Sí.
Yes.
All bonds, count 1 will be $1,000 and count 2 will be $500.
Alternate bonds, Your Honor.
1,000, count 1 for the cocaine. It was residue. Count 2, drug paraphernalia possession is $500.
Ok. $1,000 fianza, cargo 1 que es residuos de cocaína, $1,000 más $500 por artículos para utilizar cocaína.
Now we have on page 10, Donald Wiley.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, that was pre-trial. Okay.
1,500.
Que salga bajo el programa y las fianzas alternas son lo que yo le dije, 1,000 más 500.
Funded out, Your Honor. Mr. Wiley and Mr. Fuller Davis.
Wiley's a bond out. Thank you.
Judge, Mr. Garcia Balmaceda is asking for a repetition of his release conditions.
Ok. Señor García Balmaceda, la juez le otorgó que saliera bajo un programa y las fianzas alternas, por si no lo aceptaran, $1,000 por el cargo 1 más $500 por el cargo 2.
$500.
$1,500.
Total is $1,500. You can get out of jail free with the pretrial services program.
Sí, el total es $1,500, pero usted puede salir de gratis de la cárcel bajo este programa que ella le asignó.
Ok, pero yo lo que no entiendo es la parte de...
But what I don't understand is the part about.
Just make sure to keep all future court dates.
Asegúrese que cumpla con todas las fechas de la corte en el futuro.
Okay, now, and just to be clear, you said Corey Fuller Davis is a bond out, right?
Yes.
Thank you. Page 10, we have Jimmy Victor. Good morning. Sir, you were arrested for possession of cocaine and possession of cannabis. I will appoint the public defender's office for you. So there's probable cause for the charges. Pretrial alternate bond, $2,500 count one, and $500 count two. Have a nice day. Oh, actually, for the cannabis, I'm sorry. I'll make it less. You have 1 gram. Count two's an ROR. Pretrial alternate, $2,500 in ROR. Thank you. Next, we have Mario Sobaldaro. Page 10. 6 arrest affidavits, James.
Spanish, please. Yes. Señor, yo le voy a servir de intérprete hoy.
You were arrested for 6 different cases.
Usted fue arrestado por 6 casos distintos.
Looks like burglaries and petty thefts.
Allanamientos y robos de menor cuantía.
I will appoint the public defender's office for you for all the cases.
Yo le asigno al abogado de la defensa pública para todos estos casos.
The first case is F253831.
El primer caso es F253831.
The charge is burglary to an occupied structure while wearing a mask and petty theft to a dwelling or curtilage.
Ok, allanamiento a una estructura ocupado usando una máscara. Ok, yeah, what was the second charge, Your Honor?
Petty theft to a dwelling or curtilage.
Robo de menor cuantía en una casa o en los alrededores de la casa.
So let me review for probable cause. This is an incident at 3 a.m. where he's seen going up to the victim's driveway.
Esto es un incidente que ocurrió a las 3 de la mañana donde es visto aproximándose al driveway de la víctima.
And he's stealing victims' packages that are by the front door, it looks like.
Se está robando paquetes que están en la puerta del frente de la casa.
He also identified himself as the person in the photograph committing the burglary.
Él también se identificó como la persona que aparece en la fotografía cometiendo el allanamiento.
So there's probable cause for burglary to a dwelling. It's a dwelling.
Okay, allanamiento de una morada, de una casa.
Sir, you are ordered to stay away from the alleged victim, Lisa Love.
Se le ordena que se mantenga alejado de la víctima, Lisa Love.
No contact with that victim, either directly, indirectly, in person, in writing, by telephone, or through third parties.
No puede tener contacto con la víctima ni directa ni indirectamente, ni en persona, por teléfono, por escrito, ni por terceras personas.
And stay 500 feet away from her home, school, and place of employment at all times.
Tiene que mantenerse a por lo menos 500 pies de su casa, la escuela y lugar de empleo en todo momento.
Stay away from the victim's residence at 1425 Saria Avenue in Coral Gables, Florida.
Tiene que mantenerse alejado de la casa de la víctima, 1425 Saria Avenue, Coral Gables.
Isn't that a first-degree felony with the mask enhancement state?
It is.
All right, count 1 will be a $15,000 bond, and count 2, the petty theft for the package. I'll set that at $500.
$15,000 por el cargo 1 y $500 por el cargo 2 del robo del paquete.
Next case is F253829.
Próximo caso, F253829.
You charge of burglary to a structure and petty theft to a dwelling or curtilage.
Allanamiento hacia una estructura y robo de menor cuantía de una casa o de los alrededores de la casa.
This is from January 19th, where it's alleged she's stealing the victim's topiary planters from her resident.
Ok, esto es de enero 19 del 2025, que se estaba robando unos topiarios, o sea, unas matas de la casa de la víctima. O sea, lo que it's the what was holding the topiaries, the whole thing.
I'm sorry, no, for this house, it's one count. He's charged with, they put different items here. He's removing a parcel from the property without the owner's permission at 6:15 in the morning.
A las 6:15 de la mañana estaba llevándose sin permiso del dueño un paquete.
Stay away from the victim, Pedro Reyes.
Tiene que mantenerse alejado de la víctima, Pedro Reyes.
And stay at least 500 feet away from his home, school, and place of employment at all times.
Se tiene que mantener a por lo menos 500 pies de su casa, escuela y su persona, o sea, en todo momento y lugar de empleo.
Stay away from the victim's residence at 808 Obispo Avenue in Coral Gables, Florida.
Manténgase alejado de la casa de la víctima, que es el 808 Obispo, Avenida Obispo, en Coral Gables.
See, this one where he's wearing a mask. So
Tenía puesto una máscara.
a lead burglary to the occupied dwelling will be $7,500.
Allanamiento de una morada, $7,500.
And count 2, petty theft is $150.
Y $150 de robo de menor cuantía.
And then there's F253827.
El próximo caso F253827.
This is from, looks like February 14th.
Febrero 14 parece ser.
So here he's wearing a face mask.
Tenía puesta una máscara en la cara.
He goes to the victim's porch to steal the package that had his child's shoes in them.
Y va al portal de la víctima a robarse un paquete que tenía los zapatos de su hijo.
Stay away from the victim, Mark Poole.
Mark
Poole.
Mark Poole tiene que mantenerse alejado de Mark Poole.
No contact with that victim either directly, indirectly, in person, in writing, by telephone, or through third parties.
No puede tener contacto con la víctima ni directa ni indirectamente, ni en persona, ni por teléfono, ni por escrito, ni por terceras personas.
Stay at least 500 feet away from his home, school, and place of employment at all times.
Manténgase en todo momento a por lo menos 500 pies de su casa, escuela y lugar de empleo.
So, also stay away from the victim's residence at 1526 Dorado Avenue in Coral Gables, Florida.
También manténgase alejado de la casa de la víctima en el 1526 Avenida Dorado, Coral Gables, Florida.
Count 1, burglary to destruct unoccupied dwelling while wearing a mask is a $15,000 bond.
$15,000 en el cargo 1, que es cometer allanamiento usando la máscara.
And count 2, petty theft will be $150.
Y $150 por el cargo 2, que es robo de menor cuantía.
Next is F253823.
El próximo es F253823.
This is from February 21st.
Febrero 21.
The charge is burglary to an occupied structure and petty theft to a dwelling or curtilage.
Ok, esto es allanamiento a una estructura ocupada y robo de menor cuantía en una casa o sus alrededores.
Now, you are ordered to stay away from the victim whose initials are GL and stay away from the victim.
Se le ordena que se mantenga alejado de la víctima cuyas iniciales son GL.
Stay away from his residence at 756 Alhambra Circle in Coral Gables, Florida.
Tiene que mantenerse alejado de su residencia en el 756 Alhambra Circle en Coral Gables.
So he stole a laptop and someone's fancy handbag valued at $700.
Se robó un laptop y un bolso, una cartera, valued at how much, Your Honor?
$700.
$700, el valor de $700.
Count one, there's probable cause for burglary to an occupied dwelling while wearing a mask.
Hay motivo fundado para el cargo número 1, allanamiento a una morada ocupada usando máscara.
$15,000 bond.
How much, I'm sorry?
$15,000.
15?
King say.
$15,000 de fianza en el cargo 1.
Count 2, petty theft will be $500.
Y $500 en el cargo de robo de menor cuantía.
Oh, we got another one. F25 3. So this one is burglary to 2 counts of burglary to an occupied structure, 2 counts of petty theft.
Ok, en este otro caso tiene allanamiento de una estructura ocupada y robo de menor cuantía. Dos cargos de cada uno. 2 allanamientos de una estructura ocupada, 2 cargos. Y 2 cargos de robo de menor cuantía.
And second review. So it's from February 15th.
De febrero 15.
Okay, so he stole the victim's shampoo and conditioner that she got in a package from Amazon.
Ok, el paquete tenía champú y conditioner en un paquete de Amazon.
I don't know if there's a mask involved here. It doesn't look like it.
No sé si hay una máscara involucrada en este caso. No encuentro que lo diga.
I'm not sure why it's 2 counts for this date because I only see 1 incident for the 15th.
No sé por qué hay 2 cargos, porque nada más que veo una fecha el 15.
Okay, Judge. They're 2 at the same address.
So you are ordered to stay away.
So, Judge, there's 2 at the same address.
Is that what it was? Oh, okay.
Son 2 casos en la misma dirección.
Stay away from the victim, Sophia Miranda.
Tiene que mantenerse alejado de la víctima, Sofía Miranda.
Stay away from a residence at 1426 Cantoria Avenue in Coral Gables, Florida.
Tiene que mantenerse alejado de su residencia en el 1426 Avenida Cantoria en Coral Gables, Florida.
This one had the same address? 2 at the same address?
I think the 7.
3822?
Let's see.
There was another one I saw earlier with 2.
This isn't it, Judge. Maybe $1 on the second count.
Count 1, burglary to the occupied dwelling will be $7,500, and count 2, petty theft is $150.
Ok, allanamiento a una estructura ocupada, $7,500, robo de menor cuantía, $150.
There's 2 charges of burglary, Judge.
Sorry, thank you. Count 1 is $7,500, count 2 is $1, 3 is $150, 4 is $1.
Ok, cargo 1, $7,500, cargo 2, $1, cargo después en el otro es $150 y cargo 4, $1.
Okay. And then we have F253820. That's from February, it says February 9th.
Aquí dice febrero 9, el número del caso es F253820.
So here again, he's stealing somebody's package at 3 in the morning.
Se está robando de nuevo paquetes a las 3 de la mañana.
Stay away from the victim whose initials are A and V.
Manténgase alejado de la víctima cuyas iniciales son AB.
Get away from the victim's residence at 4724 Ordonia Drive in Coral Gables, Florida.
Ok, tiene que mantenerse alejado de la casa de la víctima en el 4724 Ordonia Drive, Coral Gables, Florida.
Now, one, there's probable cause for burglary to an occupied dwelling. It's a $7,500 bond.
Hay motivo fundado para el cargo 1, que es allanamiento de una morada ocupada, $7,500.
Count 2, petty theft.
Y cargo 2, robo de menor cuantía,
That's going to be $500.
$500.
I think that's it.
Creo que eso es todo.
Have a good day.
Que tengan buen día.
Okay, now we have Rigoberto Montagudo. Page
Monteagudo, ok. Señor Monteagudo, ¿no habla inglés?
Yeah, I speak a little bit English.
Spanish. You were arrested for battery of a person aged 65 or older and aggravated stalking in violation of court order.
Ok. Agresión corporal hacia una persona mayor de 65 años y acecho con agravantes.
This is a case from
Después de haber una orden de la corte.
It's a case from July 31st of 2024.
Es un caso de julio 31 del 2024.
So there is probable cause for the charges.
Hay
Although
motivo fundado para los cargos.
I didn't see the victim's age. So you are away from Father Angel Montagudo.
Tiene que mantenerse alejado de Ángel Monteagudo.
No contact with the victim either directly, indirectly, in person, in writing, by telephone, or through third parties.
No puede tener contacto con la víctima ni directa, ni indirectamente, ni en persona, ni por teléfono, ni por escrito, ni por terceras personas.
No contact with the victim through social media or other electronic means.
No puede tener contacto con la víctima por medios sociales ni medios electrónicos.
Stay at least 500 feet away from the victim, his home, school, and place of employment at all times.
Tiene que mantenerse a por lo menos 500 pies de la víctima, su casa, escuela o lugar de empleo en todo momento.
Do not engage in any criminal activity. Do not use or possess illegal drugs.
No puede estar involucrado en actividad delictiva, no puede usar ni poseer drogas ilegales.
Do not use, purchase, possess, or carry a firearm, gun, weapon, or ammunition.
No puede usar, comprar, ni poseer o portar arma de fuego, una pistola, ni ningún otro tipo de arma o municiones.
Must immediately surrender any firearms, ammunition, and any concealed weapons permits to the nearest police department and file a receipt with the court.
Debe inmediatamente entregar cualquier arma de fuego que tenga, municiones o permiso para portar arma oculta a la estación de policía más cercana y presentar un recibo en la corte que lo ha hecho.
Understand the stay away order, sir?
¿Usted entiende esta orden de alejamiento, señor?
Sí.
Yes.
Setting up on count 1, there's probable cause for battery, $1,000 bond. Count 2, aggravated stalking in violation of a court order is $25.
Violation of an injunction.
I don't know violation.
So what is that, a misdemeanor?
Yes.
All
Okay.
right, so count 2 will be $500.
Ok. En el cargo 1, $1,000 y en el cargo 2, $500.
All right, now we have Nelson Perez on Zoom from the jail. Good morning, Mr. Perez.
Morning.
Right? English is English well, or do you need a Spanish interpreter?
¿Usted habla inglés?
Yes.
Or you say-
Sir, you were arrested for domestic battery. I'm sorry, you were arrested for battery by strangulation and 2 counts of battery.
Yes, ma'am.
So can you afford to hire a private lawyer?
Well, after when I'm released, if I'm released today, yes, I'll hire.
So I'm not going to appoint the public defender's office. Are you okay with the court proceeding now, reading the orders to you and setting a bond without your lawyer being here?
Is there any way I can use the public defender now and then?
Defender, if you qualify for you only get the public defender if you're indigent or otherwise qualified. I don't think you'd qualified, but I asked you. Let me want to waive the lawyer's presence so I can proceed now and set a bond?
Yes.
Let me review for probable cause. All right, so there's probable cause for count 1, 2, and 3, although count 3, I guess, would be a necessary element to count 1. So I'm entering a stay away order from the alleged victims whose initials are MP and JG, no contact. First of all, JG is not domestic. It's her daughter's boyfriend. Can I do it? I'm sorry, we're going to have a non-domestic. Stay away from the alleged victims, MP. We don't have any non-domestics. Miss F.
I'll send them over.
I need it this morning so the clerk can submit it. Stay
I'll
away
run it over after court.
from no contact with those alleged victims, either directly, indirectly, in person, in writing, by telephone, or through third parties. No contact with the victims through social media or other electronic means. And you must stay at least 500 feet away from the victims, their home and school, and place of employment at all times. Do not engage in any criminal activity. Do not use or possess drugs. And do not use, purchase, possess, or carry a firearm, gun, weapon, or ammunition. You must immediately surrender any firearm and any concealed weapons permits to the nearest police department and file a receipt with the court. And does your daughter live with you or no?
No, she doesn't.
Fine. Do you understand the stay away order, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Thank you. So I'll set a bond. There's no problem. Count 1, battery by strangulation. I'll set that at $1,500. Count 2, battery is $1,000. And count 3, battery is $1,000. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Total 2,500.
MS, so don't forget them. Next case is Jerry Ferguson, page 12. The other one on the side, please stay with it. Good morning, sir. You were arrested for failing to register as required by law. I will appoint the public defender's office for you. There's probable cause for the charge. Your bond is $2,500. Have a nice day. Next is Jairo Escobedo, page 12. Is he there? Good morning, sir. You were arrested for possession of crystal meth, a controlled substance, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I will appoint the public defender's office for you. Maybe I give him TAP. He has a TAP alternate bond, $2,500 count 1 and $500 count 2.
I don't have somebody to clarify that.
I'll give him a date to come back to court. You have to come back to court for the arraignment. Yesterday was the 26th of March, which I think is or Wednesday. Don't ask if I know all these things. So you have to come to court for your arraignment. Let me just make sure. 27th, March 27th at 9 a.m., courtroom 6-4. Have a good day, sir. Now we have Randy Williams. Next, page 13. Hi, Mr. Williams. Good morning or good afternoon now. Sir, you were arrested for aggravated battery on a person aged 65 or older. So public defender's office will be appointed. I need a review for probable cause. So looks like you hit the victim with a hammer. And the victim was bleeding.
Unless I missed that, I didn't see the age.
You want to
call the detective?
Do you want to call the detective? Victim had to be transported to the hospital.
Yes.
Possible, the victim needed stitches and had a possible broken hand. And he was holding a hammer as he was being struck. I guess the defendant was holding his hammer.
Judge, I have the detective on the line.
All right, detective.
Yeah, Your Honor.
Detective, raise your right hand to be sworn, please. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. Raise your hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If so, say I do.
Do you swear to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what's your name and what police department do you work for?
Detective Tiffany Macias, and I work with the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office.
Okay, and do you know the age of the alleged victim in this case?
Yes, 1 second.
Okay.
The victim's date of birth is June 17, 1959.
So she would be 65, turning 66 this year. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, I don't have any questions. I don't know if the PD or the court has any questions.
Ms. Corey, any questions for Detective Messias?
Detective, did you speak to any witnesses on the scene?
No, Your Honor.
That's his attorney.
Okay, no, I did not.
Right. So you weren't able to confirm any allegations from Mr. Williams that he had been robbed?
Sorry, very.
So, she said
Can you repeat the question, please?
And correct me if I'm saying it wrong. You weren't able to confirm any of Mr. Williams' statements that he had been robbed.
No, correct.
Do you know what the victim's injuries were?
Yes, the victim sustained a laceration to the forehead, possibly requiring sutures. The doctor was unable to confirm via telephone, and he also had a possible broken left hand, unable to confirm via telephone as well. So he was admitted to the hospital. He should still be there. Stable condition.
You said critical condition?
Stable.
Stable condition.
Okay. Thank you.
So I'm going to excuse
No
the
problem.
detective.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
So, sir, you are ordered to stay away from Rafael Castro, the alleged victim. No contact with the victim, either directly, indirectly, in person, in writing, by telephone, or through third parties, and stay at least 500 feet away from the victim, his home, school, and place of employment at all times. So I'm granting the state's motion for pretrial detention pending final hearing based on the fact that there's probable cause for first-degree felony for the aggravated battery with serious bodily injury. It's going to be no bond. You'll see a judge tomorrow, and that judge will set a final hearing on the state's motion. Have a good day, sir. Next case we have is Romani Lindo.
Bond it out.
Thank you. Harrison Vines. Mr.
NBC.
You what? NBC?
Yes.
Let me review. There's probable cause. We set it for the afternoon. Now we have Gary Braggs. Mr. Braggs. Sir, you were arrested for possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and petty theft. I will appoint the public defender's office for you. He's stealing a pack of butter for $3.96. Do you have an objection to TAP, State? I'm okay with TAP, I guess.
Okay.
TAP, sir, you are ordered to stay away from the Walmart store at 21151 South Dixie Highway in Miami, Florida. You're not allowed to go to that store. You must stay away from there. TAP alternate bond count 1 will be $1,000. Count 2, possession of drug paraphernalia is $500, and count 3, petty theft is $150. Have a nice day. Oh, the date to come back to court for the arraignment is March 27th at 9 a.m. courtroom 28. Thank you.
You know, that was tab 1,500 and 150.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Next is Fabrice Zabilla, page 17. No, I'm sorry, page 14, excuse me. Good morning, sir. You were arrested for a case from December 31st of 2024. The charge is carjacking and aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. So I will appoint the public defender's office for you. So this happened at Hialeah Hospital. Victims finished her shift walking to her car. That's parked in the garage. That's at 11:30 at night. She gets into her car, starts driving towards the exit, and she sees somebody sitting inside of her vehicle. I guess the witness, she engaged in a conversation with the witness to alert her of an odd individual who had begun to walk towards them. So then as she's trying to exit, he's reaching into the victim's vehicle, trying to forcefully snatch her cell phone from her hands. She drives off. Victim drove off for retaining her property Then she drove and stopped by a loading dock as she's distressed and in fear. Then the witness who saw the incident also followed her, made sure she was okay. So the victim got out of her car, goes to the witness's car. They're speaking. Moments later, Mr. Sabilla goes towards them, runs towards them, and occupies the victim's vehicle. She tried to stop him. He punched her in the face and pushed her, and then struck her with the vehicle as he drove away, dragging the victim and causing her to violently fall onto the pavement. The victim, 63 years of age and height of 4'11" and 100 pounds. He fled with her car and her personal belongings, including her cell phone. Those are the allegations. He's presumed not guilty. Let's be clear. There was a witness who gave a sworn statement how she found the victim's cell phone and had a conversation with Mr. Sabilla. They had surveillance video footage from the hospital inside the parking garage. They were able to identify Mr. Sabilla based on their, based on their surveillance footage. The vehicle was recovered on January 6th, abandoned by Ives Dairy Road, which is a half a mile from his home address. They have CCTV from a library. It shows Mr. Sabilla wearing the same clothing from the carjacking, parking the victim's vehicle at 1:06 a.m., 1.5 hours after the carjacking, and walking southbound towards his residence. How was that? Oh, that on January 6th is when they got the surveillance footage, okay, because this happened December 31st. There was a 6-photo lineup, and the witness positively identified Mr. Sabilla as the person who tried to take the victim's cell phone moments after carjacking, and moments after carjacking victim. So I believe there's probably cause. You are ordered to stay away from the alleged victim, whose initials are MM. No contact with that victim, either directly, indirectly, in person, in writing, by telephone, or through third parties. And no contact with the victim through social media or other electronic means. You must stay at least 500 feet away from the victim, her home, school, and place of employment at all times, and stay away from the Hialeah Hospital at 651 East 25th Street in Hialeah, Florida. So the state, is this Corey, anything you wish to say, or you're just not saying anything?
No, Judge, not this time. With regard to the stay away order for the hospital, I've asked them to be modified unless he's there for treatment.
Unless you have to stay away from Hialeah Hospital for medical care. So I'm going to grant the state's motion for pretrial detention pending final hearing pursuant to Florida statute 907.041. And count 1, carjacking, is going to be no bond. Count 2, aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. I'm setting that at $15,000. And you'll see a judge tomorrow. That judge will set a final hearing on the state's motion for pretrial detention. Good day, sir.
Your Honor, for F24-26862, is there a hold on that case?
Huh? Oh, I don't know anything about it. He's out on felony bond?
Yes.
He's out on felony bond hold for F24-2682. Thank you. I don't have a sticky. Now we have on page 17, Jaheem Merritt.
Refuse accordion.
An added charge, Ms. Corey, you want to reset it or just set a bond? I think he's in custody on a second-degree murder.
We can waive his presence. You said you refused corrections?
Yes.
I'll waive this presence.
All right, so fund probable cause, and count one is $7,500. Count two will be $7,500. Appointing public defender's office and waiving presence. About Gustavo Ruiz.
Refuse court, Your Honor.
Ms. Corey, you want me to reset it, or you want to wait?
No, we can waive this presence.
Public defender's office waive presence. There's probable cause. Is that aggravated? I don't know if it's aggravated. He had a laceration to his ear. He said one.
They're saying it was not from the knife.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll find probable cause for battery by a detainee on another detainee. Bond is $2,500.
And did you give the first name of the alleged victim?
Sure. It is Leon.
Thank you.
About Alejandro Shea Valdez, page 18.
Refuse court.
So, Ms. Clerk,
I'll waive this presence.
appoint the public defender's office, waive presence, bond is $2,500. What time you want to start? 12:45? I mean, 1:45 since you finished late, or 1:30? I don't care.
145, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll see everybody at 1:45.
We're late, Your Honor.
Thank you.